coming up.
Ooh. We want to do the best that we can possibly do.
Sometimes those notes didn't get translated. It's time and it's money, but it's also customer satisfaction. Odoo checked a lot of the boxes.
It's fascinating to watch the movement of water. The ripples, reflections, and more importantly, it always seems to be going somewhere. Here at Lake Itasca, it may seem like an inconsequential body of water, but it happens to be the riverhead of the Great Mississippi River. When the first settlers arrived, they had ideas for how to take advantage of the movement of water. The first dam was built right here to power a sawmill. And it's that diversion and direction that is so important. Power without control is nothing more than potential unrealized.
Investing in a strong supply chain isn't just about speed or power. It's about control and efficiency. This means directing goods along optimal routes, all while steering the flow. Let's go see a company that's doing all of that within Odoo.
About half an hour from Minneapolis is the headquarters of Tru180. They make high-quality custom outdoor furniture, and I really mean custom. Meet Art, founder and CEO of Tru180, and he walked me around his showroom to see furniture pieces that I have never even seen before.
This is what we call our contemporary. When you see it from the side, got a nice pedestal-based surfboard table. These are just fun. Here's what we call our swivel glider. This is probably our flagship product. Go ahead and try it out. That lumbar support in there really makes a difference for folks.
Yeah, I could sit in this like all day.
If you want to kick back and relax for a bit, then you just simply pull the ottoman out.
Wow.
And then we're showing it featured here with a cup holder mounted to it. That's an option that can go on really most of our patio chairs.
And it wasn't just the styles, even the colors too.
We've routed in there the color. This would be the base color. This speckled maple is really neat. When you pair it up with blues, the blue flecks come out. When you pair it up with black, then you see some of the black comes out in it. These two colors here are hugely popular with our coastal customers. And then orange dreamsicle, another popular color, mostly on the coast though.
With all of these colors and styles, that must be like thousands of SKUs, right?
We have now close to 1 million SKUs in Odoo. The very chair you're sitting in is available in 26 different colors and all the combinations that come from those colors, and that math works out to be about 625 different options. If you want that chair with the cup holder mounted on the right side, that's another 625 SKUs. If you want the cup holder mounted on the left side, that's another 625 SKUs. And if by chance you want a cup holder mounted on both sides, that's another 625 SKUs.
And that's just one product.
That's just one product. And then that chair comes in 3 different heights. So you take all of those numbers, multiply it by the 3 different heights, and you come up with yet even a greater number. And then that particular chair comes in 3 different back styles. So you take all of those numbers and multiply it by 3, and as it turns out, you probably end up with close to 12,000 SKUs for that one chair.
That's a lot of SKUs. With so many different combinations of products, that must be quite a task to manage.
Admittedly, at that time, our ERP system just wasn't really meeting all of our needs either. It couldn't handle that number of SKUs, and that whole platform, although it was cloud-based, was built on an older system. We were constantly doing workarounds and trying to find solutions and make fields work for what we do. And what you quickly learn when you're setting up an ERP system is every time you make a shortcut in something that's not intended, you create 3 other problems that you never thought would happen down the road. So Odoo offered us kind of an unlimited number of opportunities to build what we needed for our use and our needs. We didn't really have a system previous, and as I shared with you earlier, there were a lot of questions we didn't even know to ask.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that they came forward to me was they did not have any inventory management system. Asked them what his requirements are, and the key focus was on those millions of SKUs.
Based on the analysis and requirements we made, I was confident that 100% of the requirements could be done out of the box.
Yeah, confident and I can make it work, 100%.
Our SKU system before really wasn't even a SKU system. We might have called them item numbers. For instance, if you wanted that chair with the scallop back or a fan back, that would have been a note made onto the chair, sometimes those notes didn't get translated.
They had so many variations that they can track them. So they had no traceability.
When we get it wrong, and we did quite often with our old ERP system, it causes lots of problems. It's time and it's money, but it's also customer satisfaction disappointment. When somebody orders a custom chair for us and they wait 3 weeks to get it, and then we finally present it to them and it's not what they wanted because, oh, I thought this was going to come with a cup holder on it.
Initially, they sent over the spreadsheet with all the different variations. When he showed it to me at first, I was like, oh, that's simple enough, we can do that. But as he started speaking about this, that's when it really hit me where, okay, this would be a challenge to figure out.
Now we had to decide where in the logic tree did we put the answer to that question, how do we answer it, and we had to develop a code for doing that.
Once I had that, I started to input all of that into Odoo. It started to get a little bit tricky with handling that amount of combinations of products. That's when I reached out to Duarte and say, hey, there has to be other ways that we can handle this. That's when Duarte thought, since we're handling millions of SKUs, we should just create them as unique products. And that solution clicked.
It all starts out with a 6-digit SKU for every item that we have. What height is it? What back is it going to have? And then what color is it? And then are we doing cup holders? And then are we doing custom engraving?
He loved especially, I think, the ability to look at a single product, understand the components added, so it made it a lot easier to just trace everything. It was a lot, but at the same time too, I knew that Odoo could achieve that. It's just a matter of how.
Odoo has helped us eliminate the human error. We don't have to think as much. You have to forgive the warehouse a bit here, but we keep quite a bit of inventory on hand. A lot of this furniture in here has already been sold. Store orders, so our wholesale customers, this is where all their furniture will be picked up, and you can see we've got quite a bit waiting to be picked up.
How exactly were you managing inventory with this other ERP?
It really wasn't great for managing inventory. In conjunction with that, we used QuickBooks for our accounting system. Neither of them really did a good job in managing inventory, so frankly, a lot of it was done off of spreadsheets. We were cutting and pasting different purchase orders from one system to another, but we ended up kind of manually managing our inventory system. As we've gotten bigger over the years, it became more and more complicated.
Because we have a lot of product right here around us and our warehouse behind us, but also we're sending product all over the country to wholesalers, directly to our customers, and we have retail shows where we're having booths in cornfields in various states. We need to know what's going there, what's already there, what we can still sell, and what needs to be picked up by customers.
One of the main requirements we identified was that they handle multiple trade shows at the same time, and they wanted to keep track of the inventory that they had on these trade shows. So for this requirement, we talk about using storage locations.
So we have locations. If you take any of the fairs that we do, there's a location in Odoo for what's in the booth that we can sell.
That specific one.
That specific fair, and then we're talking many fairs.
Where their current inventory levels, if they have any products available for delivery, or if they needed to make any extra orders to the sales orders that we're making in the trade show.
So what's in the booth, what's in the truck that's parked outside of the booth, and what's in a truck that's going to go to resupply later. We have a lot of logistics going on, but Odoo lets us put the products literally just right where they are. It's as specific as we want it to be, and we want it to be really specific.
With the products figured out, let's get to selling.
And they might come in as a picture of a handwritten note. It might come to us from the customer's own ERP system. We then take that order and then enter it into Odoo.
I would go into the contacts app and I would create a new contact. So we want to get all that data just right in our system. We get all of their contacts, their logistical contacts, their accounting contacts, build the address out and all that.
I can see that.
And then one really important thing for me and the company is the tags, actually. We do a lot of data tracking by using tags. So I can easily find or search or categorize things based on shipping regions, what kind of dealer they are, what kind of store they are.
So we get all of this information, you've got the contact fully fledged out. What happens next when you're getting ready to start selling something?
Bring over that contact and I'll use the CRM app. And this just helps me keep track of who I saw, when I saw them, put in reminders to reach out. So this one was one I was working on in Vegas. It was a project for a new brewery in California. He sent me kind of what he was looking for, and I built him 4 quotes, and we can look at these quotes and
Right directly from the smart buttons
directly
right
from
there.
the button. Yep. So I sent these quotes to him, but these are different styles of the different quotes with the different sizes, and then we worked on This specific project, we worked on a custom item, which was just a whole nother aspect, so I could kind of track that data in the custom item, and I was able to attach images and all that, just kind of to really have everything in one spot, which was really useful. You know, I send the quotation off to the customer via email. There might be some back and forth about specifics on the items, but other than that, once the quote's been processed, I'll build a PO, and I'll go to our purchase app, and then I can go to the purchase order. So I've processed it, I've confirmed it. This is where I would then make sure everything's accurate. Add any special notes. So sometimes I'll add delivery notes for our shop so they know that it's shipping this week. That creates a bill. The bill goes then to Laura, our bookkeeper, who then will process that bill and then knows that she can bill the client once it's been shipped and delivered.
Talk to me about the ways that you sell to your customers.
It's a good question because, again, with our old ERP system, it really wasn't set up for point of sale. We probably do 1.5, maybe close to 2 million in sales directly to the consumer through various different, we call them retail events. It might be a state fair, it might be a home and garden show. We use the point of sale system to process it. So when we have, of course, a showroom set up there, we'll work with the customer, talk to them about the different options we have and the 625 color combinations. Once they choose, then we get them over to our iPad where we get all of their contact information and then we build their order right there in front of them, right? So we're typing in the SKU numbers into the system to determine precisely what they want. And of course, we review it with them. It brings up a description of what it is they're having. That chair with cup holders mounted on the right side and what color and what height. And so we review all of that with the customer right there on site. We can tie in our credit card system right in through Odoo. And that's been huge for us. And again, our old ERP system would let us take the customer order there, but we could not process a credit card. So we had to toggle out of that system into our credit card processing system. The customer would get a receipt from Tru180 that had the amount of the chair but no tax added into it, and then they had a different receipt that showed the tax added into it and confused the customer. So we were just thrilled to be able to process right through the same system, and now they get one receipt from us that has the itemized list of what they got. It has our logo and our name on it and address and all of that information right on one receipt, and all the detail of what they bought, including the tax. So been tremendous for us that way.
It's easy to use. It has all of the fields already clearly labeled, so it's just a matter of going through it and filling in all the information.
Just a few clicks?
Yep, exactly.
It's been a process, and again, it's forced us to ask questions of ourselves that we didn't even know we needed to ask.
I really enjoy how we've just been able to grow into the product.
In the years that we've already existed, has scaled so much, and Odoo is scaling right there with us.
We're learning more and more about Odoo and its capabilities, and we're just blown away by the aspect of what we can do with it.
If you put the time and go through the work, you end up ultimately with a product that ends up working for your needs and working the way you want it. And I like to say, Odoo can help support the weight of a much bigger organization than we are now. And I'll be honest with you, at first it seemed like, geez, do we need to go through all this? We're relatively small. But as we've increased our sales volume, I can better understand that having a system support the weight and infrastructure of a much larger organization is going to be worth it for us. So I hope that we triple in size, not only in sales and volume, but also our product selection will also increase in size.
So if someone asked you, how would you describe Odoo in one word?
I would say Odoo is powerful.
Powerful.
And that's what we need it to be.
Oh, I did not think that would work.
I take it back. The orange in the Dreamsicle does work really well.
Oh, the orange and Dreamsicle does work, yes.
Ooh, that looks so good. Yep. And it feels even better.